Hi guys, I'm here at FSA Fest with Mr. Buckle and Boots himself, Karl Hancock.
Yeah, hey, needs to change the name, don't we, really?
Good to see you again, mate.
All right, nice to see you again.
Nice to have a chat. How was Buckle and Boots?
It's been a bit overwhelming, actually, because the amount of... Everywhere we go, people are talking about what they liked and how it should grow, and I think it'll be fantastic. You know, we've had the great press, you guys and lots of people have just said really nice things. Bands all want to come and play. A lot of interest from the States, which is quite interesting. It was brilliant, really good fun.
I've seen you at like Wolfstock and FSA Fest. Do you see these guys as competition, or do you see it as growing together as a...
I think the big thing is that everybody's got to go and learn from each other, really, and you can't be the same as anyone else because obviously it's different venues, different acts, and you've really got to look at festivals as just how you can improve and help each other, really, and help the whole country scene grow. And it'll be interesting over the next 2 or 3 years how I think all the festivals will go better. They'll all grow and they'll all, the amount of interest in country music is huge, and it will be one of the biggest growing genres of music. So I think if everybody makes sure that they do the best and make sure that they get, they've got to have good sound, good lighting, and support the artists, the festivals will really grow. But that'll be the most important thing to do.
You were telling us earlier about how it's been picked up in America by a few people. That's interesting. But obviously we sort of had some great country acts on from the States, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. So they've gone back home and they've spoken about it. So we've had sort of like half a dozen or more booking agents and stuff saying, look, if we want to do a tour, can we come and do play at your place? So that's it's great for us, but also great for the whole industry, really. It'll just grow and get better and better and better. We've had lots of interest from radio stations in the Northwest, and it's just getting them to understand how they can help, and if they sort of jump on the bandwagon now, and it'll benefit them as well, I think. I came down to Blackthorn last week to watch the little country stage, so I was amazed at the size of the whole thing. It was a lot bigger than Buckle and Boots. So is that your vision for Buckle and Boots eventually?
Buckle and Boots is probably 2 years off doing that. And what we've got to do is we've got to make sure we have the amount of artists that play have to be good. It's not just about putting on lots of different country people. It's about getting good, and it's also having a little bit of a twist on it. Having Gary and I were having lots of conversations with bands about having an indie guitarist play with a country, just to give a little bit of a twist to it all, and you encourage other people to come and watch it. Because the interesting thing, and the reason we did it at Blackthorn, was that country music, if you go and ask someone in the middle of Manchester, do you like country? I don't like country and western. So straight away it's country and western. So we put the stage on at Blackthorn because that's now in its 4th year, and there's lots of people go. They now are talking about country music because they didn't expect it. That there was always people watching, and the amount of people that actually said to us, I don't like country, but that's brilliant. So if we can get that to happen, on our sort of scale, the whole thing should grow really well across the board.
It's all about word of mouth, isn't it? Hopefully the people that went this year will start spreading
word of mouth, social media. Word of mouth is the most important thing, and I think that's the interesting thing about other festivals, other country festivals, don't seem to understand the importance of social media. If you go to all your Leeds and Reading and Kendal Calling and Why Not and all that, the social media, they'll employ 6, 7, 8 people that just do social media. Massive. And that's what the country festivals have to understand, is that is the way you're going to get people. Because you can't afford to go and put adverts in papers and all that sort of stuff, because that's expensive. Social media is relatively cheap, and everybody has a phone, everybody's got a computer, they've got to use that, and they've got to just move a little bit with the times and get into that great pool of people who are always looking at the phones.
Yeah.
So.
And may I say, congratulations on your nomination for Best Festival Toilets.
Best toilets. That's the greatest thing ever.
That's the one thing everybody says.
Yeah, but I think the funny thing is that we had, every time people rang up, what are you doing? I'm looking at a toilet. Because I built them all myself, and the reason being is that my daughter, Laura, has this, she will not go to the loo if it's in a blue box or a green box. She just doesn't go. So our thought was, right, okay, what we've got to do is make it slightly interesting, line up, but then we've got to make sure people want to go, because who wouldn't go to a festival? You know, and we've had this conversation before. Why do 20,000 people go to C2C, but they don't support festivals?
Yeah, we'd never been to an outdoor festival before.
You know, so because of the toilets.
Because exactly.
So what we wanted to do was to say, right, okay, have a decent toilet, have a good shower, you know, and you might then get those people that would go to a venue, would go to the MEN or go to the O2, but don't go to festivals. And so that's why we decided we'd do that. And so on Saturday at Blackthorn, we did get a phone call to say that the festival award people are there looking at our toilets, which was quite funny. You know, not looking at the bands, just I want to see your toilets. So yeah, it was interesting.
How's plans going for next year now? Is Gary a busy man already? Or?
Gary's a busy guy, and what we've got to try and do is, obviously we need to up our game, we need to go better, we need to get more people from the UK to understand what country music's about. So that's what we have to do. And then the musicians and the bands and the artists, they have to start promoting themselves more, which then will promote festivals. And next year we'll, you know, hopefully we'll get, you know, the Buckle and Boots will grow, and it'll be good. We've got some good ideas, lots of people. The press was fantastic. But what we need to do is we need to make sure we do our part in it, and make sure we just up the game, and that everybody enjoys it. And so yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. What's the dates for next year?
I haven't a clue. It's the same weekend. Don't ever ask me dates, because I'm useless at that. It's the same weekend, so it's the third weekend in June. It's the 22nd or something like that. So, but we have already sold tickets even without having the date. People have rung up and bought tickets, which is quite funny.
Awesome.
So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah,
be great
looking
fun.
forward to it. Best of luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Hope it keeps growing.
Yeah, cheers
Right,
for that.
already.
Thank you.
Thanks for having a chat.
Cheers. Bye bye.